let's get into JavaScript fundamentals and just a quick JavaScript review. So what are some data types? What are like the main
strings and
strings? Okay. How do I do a string?
In JavaScript,
yeah,
just put var, then you make a variable.
If I don't want a variable, if I just want a string.
That's quotes.
Just quotes string 1. How else can I do a string?
Single
quotes.
backticks.
Guess we can do backticks. What are backticks used for? Interpolation. What else? What about numbers? What are two different types of numbers?
Float and integer.
Floats. What's the difference between a float and an integer?
Float and the decimal.
Okay, float. So like 3.14. That'd be like a float. And then just like whole numbers. Okay. What other data types? Arrays. What does an array look like? Square brackets. Then anything. Can have anything. So okay, I heard another Boolean. What is a Boolean?
True or false.
True or false. What else? Objects. Yeah, that's. I heard undefined. What is undefined? What does it actually mean? It doesn't know it. It doesn't have a value. There is no value.
Is that the same as null?
Yeah. So null, and I heard null. What is null?
Explicitly no value.
Explicitly, yeah. It's like, right, yeah. So null explicitly says like, oh no, there is absolutely no value. It is like, it is a value. It's a valid null. There's no value.
Null is different than 0, right?
Yes.
Quick question.
Yes.
The lines 2 and 3, what are those called again? 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Strings.
It's what?
String.
Yeah, but the parentheses are not called quotes.
These ones. Backticks. They're backticks. Yes.
And are those both backticks? Or
Nope. So this is just single quotes. Double quotes, single quotes, string interpolation. We'll get into that. Float, integers, an array, Boolean. So Boolean.
Another way to describe null is like empty. Undefined is it doesn't exist.
There you go. Yes. I like that. What else? I heard objects. What is an object? How like?
Curly brackets, and it comes with a key value or use Python dictionary.
There we go.
Well, actually, it's not a key value in JavaScript. I'm sorry, it's properties. And value. My bad.
But it's still, I mean, it's all the same, but yeah, property and value. Why is that like that? Okay. There we go. And yeah, arrays, objects. That's pretty much it. Or,
I mean, well,
there's dates.
there's
But
also you can use object. You can take your strings and integers and turn into objects themselves by
like you can take your objects. What was it?
variable.
So you'd already set the defined variable.
No, that one actually has to be accounted for the actual object.
So if you've already defined
So there's like constructor functions and stuff like that, but we'll get into that. So let's get into we have Booleans, true or false. We have variables. How do we do variables? Const equals some var.
You can do let.
How does that look weird? Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. So we can do let. I heard.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference between let and const?
You can't modify const.
It's immutable. What's another way that's going obsolete?
Oh, bar.
Don't use.
Don't use.
What's the one I use all the time?
Because it's so easy to remember bar is variable.
Why don't we want to use bar?
Because it's so.
Cause yeah, so just it's out of date.
What's the difference between bar and let?
Let, you can't declare it. You can't declare the same variable. So I can't declare another variable. Like I can't do let another. So where var, you can just anywhere within the application you can continue to declare.
Some like differences in how they handle scope, but I couldn't tell you what they are.
Yeah.
I think it's bar is inside the function. Let can work outside the function.
Yeah, it's something to do with scope. I can't.
Basically, you can have an obscure bug where you can use more.
Yeah.
You can have
Just very hard to best not to deal with it.
What should our default be? Let.
Const if it's never going to change. Const and let, never use var.
also, well, there's one other way of declaring it that you also should never do.
So
I'm just curious, does anyone know?
I don't even know.
The fourth way?
Can you
Is it a global
use the-
variable? Yeah, you can just type out the name of the variable now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
That makes
I
it global.
accidentally did that. And I was like, oh yeah, it lets me like I'm not declaring.
I didn't
Just
even
like
think
added to get 6 and nobody actually said it. So
Like you could just use don't use by itself as a variable, and it'll equals, and it still declares that as a variable.
So with Boolean values, what would this equal? Okay. What would this equal? Oh. True. Let's run it. Node private. Where is it? Java. Oh, in the wrong thing. Oh, I see what's going on. Thank you. I'm literally in the Java. So ls, I'm going to node practice, yes. So it's true. Now, what if I did that?
Now you're gonna get true and false.
No.
Well, it's still
Yeah.
possible.
So it's true and false. What's the difference?
Oh, you saw that. Oh, yeah.
Now it's
So
Nice.
what is the double equal sign versus the triple equal signs mean in JavaScript?
It compares the values and the type.
Value and type. So how do I want to do console log. I want to know the type of two. Like what type of data type? How do I do it?
I can say this type of.
Type of parentheses.
No, sorry. Parentheses, yeah. Is it just lowercase?
Yes, it is.
Let's run that. So I'm going to clear that. Oh, what happened? Oh, yeah. So it's a number. So if I make it a string, it's a string. So the triple operator, the triple equals is comparison by value and type.
With that, if you put a decimal there, will it recognize it as a float? Or we'll just
here.
Yeah.
So if I do 2 point,
2.2.
yeah, it's all
Okay,
just a number.
there's no way to differentiate.
So comparison on.
Instance, right? Would that be instance?
What else we got? If I wanted to add 2 strings together, so that like const first name equals so if I wanted to add these 2 together, how do I do that?
You can just.
It depends if you want
Strings
to
that
do it
combine.
as, yeah, first name
Plus last name.
plus space plus last name.
Let's run this first. Oh. Okay, Tompree. Now if I want a space plus space plus. There we go. What if I wanted to add like first name to, what if I wanted to add a number to, what would happen? I don't even know.
So that should make us a string.
Tom too. Yep. Cool.
2 times is
So if I wanted to add 2 numbers together, how do I do that?
Would that change the type of just to a string, or the type of to a string, even though like 2 is in there as a number?
Check it out. What am I doing? Yep. What if I wanted to add 2 numbers together? How do I do that? Plus 2. Subtract. I want to divide that 2. I want to multiply. What is this? So what would this remainder be?
0.
0. Let's run this. Cool. So the first one, 1 plus 2, 3. 1 minus 2 is -1. What is this? 8 divided by 2 equals 4. 8 times 2 equals 16. 8 modulus 2 equals 1. If I change it to 9. There we go. Do you guys use modulus in your challenges before?
Yeah.
I think I remember.
Just for odds even.
Mm-hmm.
I believe here one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
If we want it, we can do what is it? Compare conditional. So if 2 is greater than 1, so we have greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, double equal signs.
What's the difference between the single and double with the not equal to?
I'm sorry?
The one we just did. The
This is not equal to,
What's the
so
difference between the 1 and the 2 equals with that?
Why do you need 2?
that's just so it'll never, like, so if I, let's console log that, console log 2 does not equal 2, or not equal whatever. It's not gonna work anyway. Shouldn't. Right. I don't know.
But it's the same with like.
Yeah, I don't
Wouldn't it
know.
be if you had the string 2 there, it would recognize it would still think it's.
The real difference is 1 equal is assignment and 2 equal is comparison by value.
So yeah, it always just use the double equals for that. I've never done like the single
So, yeah,
equals.
if that was
before. What if I did, what's the not operator? I don't even know if that's like the correct terminology.
Yeah, question mark.
Like that? So what would this be? What is not to? I don't know what that would be.
What does it say?
Or you could do like not one or
Not. Oh yeah, not zero. Oh no, not zero. I wonder what that would do.
That's so just for any ones.
True.
That's
We can do logical operators. Console log. If I do, what is it? 2 great less than 3 and 3, 4 is greater than 2. What would this return? So 2 is less than 3 and 4 is greater than 2.
Oh,
Let's change it. 2 is less than 3 and 1 is greater than 2. What should that return? Now,
you do the same thing before.
how do I do or?
The two strings.
Pipes.
Yep, pipes.
Yes.
I always forget what they're called. Pipes. The 2 vertical lines. So that's true. How do I declare a function?
keyword function.
Name, you have to name the function, then send it.
Some func.
Or it could be both.
So what if it's just, what is this called?
Anonymous function.
That's basically what that problem thing.
Anonymous. I'm okay with that. I think it's.
If you don't name it, how would you call it?
You have to put the arrow. Or in the okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Slugging is getting away, by the way, with the syntax of not having
Semicolon.
like
So
like that is that just like a habit? Like
that's a new thing. Like almost all programming languages, like Python, Ruby, pretty much they don't require you to have semicolons, but JavaScript used to. But now everything's able to run without the semicolon. I usually put it almost all the time. Just because that's how I learned. But it's not necessarily required. But it is best practice. I don't know. Like I would put it that way.
As long as you're consistent one way or the other.
Yeah. So functions, function followed by the name. Let some func2 equal, what is this? If you haven't seen arrow functions yet, pretty much like going forward in JavaScript, arrow functions are more often than not, you're going to see those more often than you don't see them. Until we get to, you'll still see them in React, but in React, arrow functions are used a lot, and they do function. They do function a little bit differently than just normal functions. There's with regards to scope and everything like that, and the self keyword. So we'll get into that later on, but just know that there's multiple ways to write functions, but these are arrow functions. You're assigning to a variable, and the function is this. So if I wanted to actually call some func2, can instantiate it. There we go. It's an arrow function.
Figured out the syntax for the non-name, the non.
Mm-hmm.
It was open parentheses, and then function then open parentheses, no, open parentheses first. We take function out.
Oh.
Open parentheses, then inside parentheses, we go function. Open parentheses. Then you want to go outside of that parentheses.
This?
No, you're gonna do your open parentheses again outside of that.
Like this?
Yeah. And then on the inside, you have to write so.
In here?
Before purple.
Before,
Sorry, after purple,
right here?
not after.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. I've actually seen this before, like once, but so that's bizarre. I remember seeing this. Anyway, you'll probably never ever see that.
And this is like paired programming, so. What?
So if I wanted to write a function that takes in a parameter, first name equals name, and then I just want to console log that first name or that name. So I do string interpolation. How do I do string interpolation?
Dollar
$.
braces.
Like so. So in order to call that first name, Tom, now I'm down here in the terminal. I'm going to execute this code.
Do you do backticks if you're using string interpolation?
Correct.
That's simpler than
See, right here, I did const. So I got an error there. I'm going to just comment that out. Clear. There we go. No, that is it. So, for today's work, well, does anybody have any questions with regards to quick JavaScript review? Stop.